This is the Rebel Call Channel. Welcome to today's show. The Baltimore Bridge detonation, that's what we should be calling it, is already getting spun by the mainstream media. And of course, Operation Mockingbird isn't quite sure how to handle it. So they bring out their fakest of fake manufactured news reporters to tell everybody out there why there's so many people talking about the Baltimore Bridge and wondering what the real story is. Maybe it's because the propaganda being fed to society is so bogus and so fake that it's almost becoming impossible to believe. And if you do believe it, you're one of the few who has zero brain cells remaining inside of your skull. Now, this clip I'm going to show you from CNN this is the new norm, right? The new norm is they bring up things that are trending online. Of course, these things don't really go viral the way they make it sound. That's a way for them to try to brainwash people into thinking that the only reason people are discussing these things is because they're going to get clicks and make money. But we all know the reality of the matter is people like me and you go from hundreds of thousands of viewers on a daily basis to none because, of course, you're silenced when you talk about this. The reason they put this stuff out there is to make it sound like a kooky conspiracy so that the dumbed down people just automatically dismiss it and think that people like me and you are talking about it because we're looking for clicks and views. But we all know the real truth is that anybody with a pair of eyeballs can see what happened in Baltimore, can see what happened in Ohio with the train derailments, can see sabotage right in front of their faces. The stories being fed to us are so bad and so unbelievable that even some of the dumbest people in society are beginning to wake up. So they need to bring out Donnie O'Sullivan, who is a shill on CNN, who, of course, if you go into his Instagram page, you'll see him hucking it up with Bono of U2, of course, Coexist. You'll see the typical Mockingbird posts on their social media accounts where pretty much every single celebrity and every single CIA agent in the media goes onto their Instagram accounts and posts pictures of them getting needles stuck in their arms, which I can't put on the screen here because, of course, it'll get my channel removed. But that's just another way, of course, to brainwash you into thinking that they're going to get it so that you should go and get it when these people are just responsible for mass genocide. So I'm going to play for you this clip. And of course, they're going to do everything they possibly can, except, of course, show us the footage and point out the fact that we can see it being detonated and there's no way that a ship could drive into the bridge and have the bridge completely collapse. And then, of course, you have the convenience of what it does to our infrastructure, what it does to our supply chain, which, of course, is really what they're going after here. And they're doing it as quietly and they think subvertly as they possibly can. But if you're paying attention, it's very easy to see. So keep an eye during this clip when the main anchor on CNN looks directly into the camera lens because he can't even believe that people out there are believing the story that the media is giving. And really what we're seeing is that actually a lot of people aren't. Look at this propaganda and keep in mind how Mockingbird Media tries to say that people like us are living in an alternate reality. But because of the mainstream media, we actually have people who are literally living in an alternate reality. And the reality they're living in is based off of the lies that the mainstream media feeds them, including all of these fabricated news stories that the government is responsible for, whether it's going into a school with something that goes bang, bang, or going into a mall or a concert in Las Vegas or a hook in the Sandy or you name it, a bridge in Baltimore. Every one of these events is so poorly produced that they're struggling to maintain their lie of a narrative. Look at this garbage from CNN.
By the time most of us woke up on Tuesday morning to that news of the collapse of the bridge in Baltimore, there were already wild conspiracy theories circulating online just hours after the event occurred. I want to show you a list quickly of just some of these totally false conspiracy theories, just to show you how ridiculous they are. Initially, people were claiming that there was a foreign cyber attack on the ship, making it deliberately crash into the bridge, of course, which is false. There's absolutely no evidence for that. Another one was that the captain of the ship was impaired in some way by the COVID-19 vaccine. Again, totally false. Nothing happened with the captain. Others were claiming, obviously with anti-Semitic and anti-Ukraine undertones, that Israel or Ukraine were somehow responsible for the attack. And also, it just kind of got a bit wilder and wilder after that. There was the Obamas produced a movie on Netflix that had a tanker ship run aground in it, so therefore the Obamas had something to do with this. And then, of course, these conspiracy theories and this tragic event was taken, used as a political battering ram in our culture wars in this country at the moment, and people decided to blame DEI, diversity and inclusion policies, some way for the crashing of this ship.
What spreads these? Once these are posted, how do they get spread so quickly, Donnie?
Yeah, I mean, that was the pretty remarkable thing, is that, we saw the numbers immediately on Tuesday morning, and it was tens of millions of people saw these posts. It's very possible that tens of millions of Americans woke up on Tuesday morning, and before they actually saw the news, before they actually saw the facts of what happened in Baltimore, they would have read some of these conspiracy theories. And I think, John, look, there's always been conspiracy theories about sort of any cataclysmic event in the United States or around the world. But I think what is different about what we're seeing right now is just the speed and also essentially just the volume of conspiracy theories immediately that will pop up basically on any event. I mean, we're talking about this today because obviously this is a huge story, the bridge collapse and the virality of these posts. But really the notable thing about this is how it is not extraordinary. There's an alternate reality, right, being created every day, whether it's Taylor Swift rigging the Super Bowl or whether it is the 2020 election being rigged in favor of Joe Biden, both of which are false. But more and more Americans are living in this world. Mm-hmm. And look, the people who are making this misinformation and disinformation are spreading it. They're being rewarded greatly because platforms like X, which formerly Twitter, now owned by Elon Musk, pays in certain cases for posts to go viral. And viral posts can oftentimes be false and scandalous and outlandish and false posts. So there's just this whole industry there. And I think what really, we should take a step back and just see, like, this is the landscape that we're going into the 2024 election. And you can just see how well-oiled a machine the disinformation industry is.
So, of course, they'll say it's for clicks, and people went and found misinformation before they found the actual information. Of course, everything they feed is misinformation. They love to sprinkle in truth with other theories that sound completely insane, because this is one of the ways that they mind control people, right? So if you actually just look at the footage, you don't need any conspiracy theory. You should look at the boat, look at the direction of the boat, look at how the power went out on the boat, realize that we're in 2024, and if ships weren't driving into bridges in the 1970s and 80s all the time and whenever, 50 years ago, then they shouldn't be doing it now with the advancement in technology, especially. And of course, looking at the physics of it, because they always want to talk about physics and science, except of course when we're talking about men having babies or, planes crashing into towers. And then of course somehow, aluminum going through steel, all this stuff that they try to tell us, they think that they discredit. And they go out there and they try to bounce it off people's heads when their science doesn't make sense anymore. And they just go, it's a conspiracy theory. And everybody out there who's dumb enough to believe it actually believes it. So the truth of the matter is that we shouldn't even need any theories out there after seeing the footage itself. But this is what they mix in, right? Foreign cyber attack. And I had to block some of the stuff off the screen because you can't use the keywords, or the words can't pop up on the screen because the algorithm will read it and automatically flag you. But one of the theories they're pushing is that the captain was impaired by the graphene shot that it took. The captain took a little bit of poison, a little magic potion in his body, so he was impaired, which is probably true. But they go on to say, of course, people out there will hear that and then they'll just roll their eyes because they keep lumping in the magic potion into stuff, even though there's truth behind it, to try to discredit people. And of course, they're doing that with Kate Middleton as well now. So then we see they had the Ukrainians responsible, followed the plot, of course they put that on there, of Obama-produced Netflix movie And then they put the DEI policies in there. They don't get to the heart of the matter, the supply chain deliberately being sabotaged by the current regimes in power, which is both Democrat and Republican. All the news anchors are all CIA agents who are just nothing more than really poor actors, right? Really, really, really poor actors. So when they put stuff like this out there and they talk about an alternate reality, what it really should do, hopefully, is wake some of the people out there who are in an alternate reality. The ones who think that everybody's racist, that white people, all this stuff that they're feeding all of us is to divide us. Divide and conquer is what you're watching. The stuff they're showing us is reality. What they're saying is going on is deliberately being done. And they're the ones doing it. So when they blame stuff on the migrant crisis, et cetera, and the cities and what's happening in liberal cities, realize that it's deliberately being done to sabotage the cities. Okay? They're not doing it because they're incompetent. They're not doing it because they care about Black people or Mexican people. They're doing it to sabotage. And the only thing that they could do now is backpedal, because the ratings that they get in their Mockingbird media are so poor that they have to do everything they can to silence people like me and you. Now, they, of course, will continue to promote anybody out there that's pushing the left-right paradigm, because that's the most imperative thing for them to keep people trapped inside of this false alternate reality that they're creating. So, truth and lies, right? You look at these guys, you look at Donnie O'Sullivan, not a lick of talent, wouldn't be on TV if he wasn't pushed through the CIA. Everybody's like, oh yeah, CIA, it's a conspiracy. Oh yeah, sure. These people have figured out full-on mind control, how to manipulate the masses into doing something they want. How does that sound so out of the realm of possibility? There's wicked people in the world, and if the wicked people are in control of your mind, imagine the things they could get you to do without you realizing you're even doing it. Imagine the lies they could create in your mind and alternate your reality, your perception of reality. Because guess what is happening right now? All around us. And then they go, well, this stuff's getting viral online. Everybody out there who spreads a lick of truth, whether you're a listener of my channel or not, okay, who's out there right now, if you're a regular listener, you have your own channel, we all know if you spread any truth, that you're not only suppressed, you're removed. Okay, and some people out there might still be around, but you'll be removed at some point. They will remove real truth. These things don't go viral. All the algorithms prevent it from going viral. But what they see, because again, the internet is controlled by the government, what they see is so many people looking this stuff up, so many people searching for it, so many people reposting actual footage from the event, then questioning it, that they need to come out with this type of propaganda because they know the dumbed down sheeple will believe it, because they don't want to think that they're dumber than other people, and they don't want to question the news because their brains cannot actually process their own free thought. And all you have to do is use your own eyes in this world. I tell everybody that. Use your own eyes. If you can't see it with your own eyes, why are you believing it coming out of a box? Why are you believing the people talking on the box? What, because they have Harvard degrees? What actual qualifications do they have? There's nothing in the news that's actually real. It's all formulated to create a false perception of reality. Okay, think of the most psychotic person you've ever dated, or think of a manipulator you've been around in your life. That's what these people are, and they don't want to believe it. They'd rather believe that I'm the manipulator or you're the manipulator, because it's easier for them to process that. Because once you process what's really going on, you have to accept that you wasted years of your life believing in lies. Because what they've fed us about history is a lie. What they're feeding us today is a lie. What they're feeding us tomorrow, guess what? Is an incoming lie. These people are liars and deceivers, and their propaganda gets worse by the second. And they don't even fight a fair fight, which shows you what a coward Satan is and his minions like Donnie Darko over here, Donnie O'Sullivan are. That they can't even allow people to make decisions for themselves based on the information given. That it has to be their information, and anybody who questions it has to be silenced and labeled something, because the devil's a coward. The devil's a coward, his minions are cowards. They fear truth, because the only truth in this world, the only light in this world is Jesus Christ, our King of Kings. And sooner or later, these people are going to have to account for the sins that they're committing, which include mass genocide and mass deception. This is CNN, folks, the fakest news you will ever see. I thank you all for being here. Hope you're all doing well. Unbelievable. God bless all of you, as always, and your families.